The story begins thousands of years ago, when a massive war broke out in Britain between good sorcerers and evil sorcerers. The good sorcerers used their magical powers to help people and protect the world, while the evil ones wanted to use magic to rule over everyone. The greatest sorcerer of them all was Merlin. Alongside his three trusted students, Balthazar Blake, Horvath, and Veronica, he fought against the dark sorcerers. One day, Merlin's deadliest enemy, the evil Queen Morgana, attacked him. Merlin fought bravely against Morgana and was close to defeating her, but before he could finish the battle, Horvath suddenly betrayed him. Because of that betrayal, Morgana managed to badly wound Merlin. Morgana then stole a powerful spell from Merlin's magic book, a spell that could bring the dead back to life. She wanted to create an army of the dead so she could conquer the entire world. But before she could escape, Balthazar and Veronica arrived and attacked Morgana and Horvath. The problem was that Morgana was far more powerful than Balthazar, and there was no way he could defeat her alone. Just as Morgana was about to kill Balthazar, Veronica sacrificed herself to save him. Using her magic, she pulled Morgana's soul inside her own body. Balthazar survived, but now Morgana began slowly destroying Veronica from the inside. To stop Morgana from escaping, Balthazar trapped both Veronica and Morgana inside a magical nesting doll. Once trapped inside, escaping was nearly impossible. Over the years, many evil sorcerers tried to free Morgana from that doll, but Balthazar fought every single one of them alone. One by one, he trapped them inside the same magical doll, including Horvath himself. Before dying, Merlin gave Balthazar a magical dragon ring. He told him to search for Merlin's true successor, because one day Morgana would return, and only Merlin's heir would be powerful enough to stop her and save the world. So for many years, Balthazar traveled across the world searching for that chosen child, but no matter where he looked, he could never find the right person. Then the story jumps to the year 2000, where we meet a young boy named Dave Stutler. Dave is on a school field trip with his classmates. He secretly likes a girl named Becky Barnes, so he writes her a letter asking an important question. Would she rather be his friend or his girlfriend? Becky writes her answer and leaves the letter nearby. But before Dave can grab it, a strong gust of wind blows the paper away. Desperate to get the letter back, Dave runs after it and eventually ends up inside an old antique shop filled with strange historical objects and mysterious artifacts. That shop actually belongs to Balthazar. The moment Balthazar sees Dave, he gives him Merlin's dragon ring to wear. He wants to know if Dave could finally be the boy he has been searching for all these years. Dave already finds Balthazar pretty weird, especially because the old man somehow knows his name without being told. Dave tries to leave the shop, but as soon as he reaches the door, it suddenly shuts on its own. With no other choice, Dave finally picks up the ring. The second he touches it, the dragon ring magically fits onto his finger perfectly. Dave is completely shocked. Meanwhile, Balthazar becomes incredibly happy because he finally believes he has found Merlin's successor. He tells Dave not to touch anything in the shop and leaves to bring Merlin's magic book so he can explain everything properly. Balthazar even wants to train Dave in the art of magic, but the moment Balthazar leaves, the magical nesting doll suddenly falls near Dave. Inside that doll were Morgana and Horvath. Curious, Dave picks it up. Then Horvath, trapped inside one of the doll's upper layers, uses his magic to set the doll on fire. Frightened, Dave throws it to the ground. Suddenly, thousands of cockroaches burst out of the doll and swarm together, transforming into Horvath himself. Without realizing it, Dave has accidentally freed him. Before Horvath can hurt Dave, Balthazar rushes back into the shop and blasts Horvath across the room with magic. Immediately, an intense fight breaks out between the two sorcerers. Horvath desperately wants the magical doll because freeing Morgana is his ultimate goal. While fighting Horvath, Balthazar tells Dave to take the doll and run away. But when Balthazar realizes he may not be able to stop Horvath much longer, he makes a desperate move. Using powerful magic, Balthazar traps both himself and Horvath inside a magical metal urn. Dave quickly runs out of the shop with the magical nesting doll in his hands. Once outside, he gets scared and throws the doll onto the road. At the same time, his school teacher finally finds him and rushes over. Dave tries to explain everything that happened inside the antique shop, but when his teacher goes inside with him to check the place, everything looks completely normal. There's no sign of magic anywhere. Because of that, the other kids think Dave made the whole story up and start laughing at him. The story then jumps forward 10 years later. Now Dave is all grown up and studying physics in college. Since one of his professors asked him to give a lecture in class, Dave arrives at college to present his project. That's where he unexpectedly meets Becky Barnes again, after 10 long years. Both of them are genuinely happy to see each other. After class, Becky heads back to work, and Dave walks with her while talking. During the conversation, Dave finds out that Becky now works as an RJ at a radio station. Since it suddenly starts raining, and the radio station is on the way, Dave goes there with her. But right after they arrive, lightning strikes nearby, and the station's signal shuts down completely. Luckily, Dave uses his physics knowledge and easily fixes the problem. Becky is really impressed by him. Dave has always liked Becky, and this time he doesn't want to lose the chance to be close to her again. Later, when Dave returns home, he excitedly tells his friend about meeting Becky again. While listening to Becky's radio show, he continues working on his science project. In the next scene, we see the couple who unknowingly own the magical urn that trapped Balthazar Blake and Horvath inside it for the last 10 years. The couple suddenly notices movement inside the urn and becomes terrified. A moment later, black smoke starts pouring out of it, and slowly slowly transforms into Horvath himself. Horvath has finally escaped. The moment he realizes he got out first, he throws the urn off the building, hoping it will shatter and kill Balthazar along with it. But before the urn hits the ground, Balthazar manages to escape just in time and saves himself. Meanwhile, Horvath tracks down Dave and confronts him about the magical nesting doll. Before getting trapped inside the urn years ago, Horvath had seen the doll in Dave's hands, and now he desperately wants it back so he can free Morgana. Dave tells him that he no longer has the doll because he threw it away on the road years ago. But Horvath doesn't believe him at all and immediately tries to kill him. Terrified, Dave runs for his life. Soon, deadly magical wolves sent by Horvath begin chasing him through the city. While trying to escape, Dave reaches a railway station, but the wolves quickly corner him there too. Just when things seem hopeless, Balthazar suddenly appears. Using magic, he transforms the vicious wolves into tiny puppies. Then he temporarily freezes Horvath with a spell, grabs Dave and escapes by flying away on a giant metal eagle. After reaching the top of a tall building, the eagle transforms back into a statue. Dave is completely shocked after witnessing all of this. He tells Balthazar that he wants no part in any of it and just wants to go home. But Balthazar explains that Horvath is free now, and sooner or later he will find the magical doll and release Morgana. And if Morgana returns, the entire world could be destroyed. Balthazar tells Dave that he is the chosen successor of Merlin, and only he has the power to stop Morgana and save the world. Dave still finds it impossible to believe because he doesn't know anything about magic. So Balthazar makes him a deal. He tells Dave that once they recover the magical doll, Dave will be free to leave and go back to his normal life. After thinking for a moment, Dave finally agrees. Using enchanted storm clouds, Balthazar tracks the location of the magical doll somewhere in the city, and together he and Dave set out to find it before Horvath does. On the way, Balthazar Blake explains to Dave Stutler that normal humans only use a small portion of their minds, but sorcerers are able to unlock the full potential of their brains. According to Balthazar, that is the reason magic is possible in the first place. He tells Dave to clear his mind and focus completely while trying to create fire with magic. Since Dave is capable of using magic just like Merlin, Balthazar believes he can eventually master these powers. Meanwhile, we see Horvath using magic to trace the location of the magical nesting doll. He discovers that after Dave threw it away years ago, a Chinese shopkeeper picked it up and took it home. While searching for the doll with his magic, Horvath stands right in the middle of the road. An angry driver honks and tells him to move aside, but Horvath gets irritated instantly. Without hesitation, he kills the man and walks away like it was nothing. At the same time, Balthazar and Dave arrive at a huge Chinese festival to recover the magical doll. Balthazar tells Dave to stay outside while he goes into a nearby shop to search for it. Inside the shop, Balthazar meets an old woman and suddenly attacks her, because the old lady is actually Horvath in disguise. Horvath had already found the nesting doll and freed one of the evil sorcerers trapped inside it, a powerful Chinese magician whom Balthazar had imprisoned long ago. The Chinese sorcerer immediately attacks Balthazar and tries to kill him, but Balthazar dodges the attack and blasts him right out of the building. The sorcerer crashes outside near Dave and instantly targets him instead. Seeing Dave in danger, Balthazar tells him to run. Dave starts running through the crowded festival while the Chinese sorcerer uses magic to summon a giant dragon to hunt him down. The moment the dragon appears, panic spreads everywhere. Festival visitors scream and run for their lives. Just before the dragon can attack him, Dave finally uses magic for the very first time through Merlin's dragon ring. Following Balthazar's instructions, he creates fire and blasts the dragon, setting its body on fire and destroying it completely. Balthazar is extremely proud after seeing this. By this point, Balthazar has already defeated Horvath again and recovered the magical doll, so he and Dave leave the festival safely together. Now that the mission is complete, Balthazar reminds Dave about their deal and tells him he is free to return to his normal life. But after using magic for the first time, Dave no longer wants to walk away. Instead, he asks Balthazar to teach him real magic. Hearing this makes Balthazar genuinely happy, and he takes Dave to the place where Dave usually performs his science experiments, an abandoned subway station hidden beneath the city. There, Balthazar officially begins training Dave so he can one day face Morgana and Horvath. Meanwhile, Horvath starts searching for a powerful ally of his own. Eventually, he finds Drake Stone, the magical successor connected to Morgana, just like Dave is connected to Merlin. Unlike Dave, Drake already knows how to use magic and has been performing flashy magic shows for years. After this, we see Balthazar training Dave day and night, but even after working hard and practicing constantly, Dave still struggles to properly control magic. One day, Dave waits outside Becky's radio station with Balthazar. As soon as Becky Barnes comes out, Dave immediately walks over to talk to her. While talking together, Dave and Becky eventually reach a railway station where Becky is about to catch a train home. But suddenly, a thief snatches Becky's purse and runs away. Without wasting a second, Dave chases after the thief. Using the magic Balthazar taught him, Dave somehow manages to stop the thief and recover Becky's purse. Becky is amazed. She can't believe Dave actually fought off the thief and brought her bag back safely. As Becky boards the train to leave, Dave gives her the address of the abandoned subway station and asks her to visit him there the next day. After Becky leaves, Balthazar walks over to Dave and warns him that he should focus on his training instead of getting distracted by love, because right now becoming strong enough to stop Morgana is far more important. Meanwhile, Horvath continues searching for Dave's student Stutler and Balthazar Blake with the help of Drake Stone. Back at the abandoned subway station, Balthazar is training Dave in magic when Becky Barnes suddenly arrives. Dave had invited her there himself. The moment Balthazar sees Becky, he quietly leaves them alone because he already knows Dave loves her and wants to spend time with her. Balthazar then visits the place where he secretly hid Veronica's necklace. Seeing Dave and Becky together reminds him of his own love for Veronica. It creates electricity that moves along with music and strikes nearby metal objects, yet somehow never harms either of them. Becky is amazed by the project, and the two of them spend more and more time together, slowly growing closer. One day, Dave drops Becky off at her yoga class. While he's inside the restroom nearby, Drake suddenly appears and challenges Dave to attack him. Drake wants to test how powerful Dave really is. But before anything serious happens, Horvath arrives and tells Drake to stand guard outside while he questions Dave about the magical nesting doll. When Dave refuses to answer, Horvath tries to kill him. Luckily, Balthazar shows up just in time. He had already captured Drake earlier, and now another dangerous battle begins between him and Horvath. After a brutal fight, Balthazar finally traps Horvath inside a giant mirror-like glass prison and escapes with Dave. Once they return to the subway station, Dave demands the truth from Balthazar because Horvath had revealed things that Balthazar kept hidden from him. So Balthazar finally tells him everything. He explains that long ago Merlin had 3 students, Veronica, Horvath, and himself. Together they fought evil sorcerers and protected the world from destruction. But during the battle against Morgana, Horvath betrayed Merlin, leading to Merlin's death. Balthazar then tells Dave something even more shocking. Dave shares Merlin's bloodline, and because of that, only he can stop Morgana once she escapes from the magical doll. Even after hearing all this, Dave still struggles to believe in himself. He can't imagine defeating powerful sorcerers like Horvath and Morgana. Meanwhile, Horvath manages to discover the location of Dave's hidden lab beneath the subway station through information connected to Dave's college experiments. Later, we once again see Balthazar continuing Dave's magical training, but despite trying over and over again, Dave still can't fully control his powers. One day, while practicing alone, Dave accidentally loses control of a spell. The entire lab starts flooding with water, and machines begin flying everywhere out of control. Just in time, Balthazar arrives and stops the chaos before the whole place is destroyed. At that point, Dave completely loses confidence in himself. After weeks of training, he still feels like he will never become a real sorcerer. Feeling defeated, Dave apologizes to Balthazar and walks away. Later, Dave stands sadly on top of a building, thinking about everything happening in his life. After a while, Becky joins him there, and talking with her makes him feel a little better again. At the same time, back in the lab, someone who looks exactly like Dave suddenly appears and apologizes to Balthazar for his behavior. But the moment Balthazar senses something strange, he attacks him because it's not Dave at all. It's Drake disguised as Dave. A second later, Horvath appears as well and captures Balthazar. Horvath is still filled with anger and jealousy because long ago, he used to be close friends with both Balthazar and Veronica. But Veronica chose Balthazar over him, and Horvath never got over that heartbreak. Balthazar somehow breaks free and attacks both Horvath and Drake, but he can't fight both of them for very long. Horvath is just about to kill him when Dave suddenly arrives and blocks the attack, saving Balthazar's life. But during the chaos, Horvath and Drake escape with the magical nesting doll that contains Morgana. The moment Balthazar realizes this, he and Dave immediately chase after them. While escaping, Horvath uses magic to transform every vehicle on the road into identical yellow taxis, making it almost impossible to figure out which cab he is hiding in. Seeing this, Balthazar tells Dave to use the power of Merlin's dragon ring to magically move the nesting doll from a distance. When Dave focuses and does it successfully, they finally identify the correct taxi carrying Horvath and Drake. Realizing they've been found, Horvath magically transforms the taxi into a powerful supercar and speeds away through the city. Balthazar Blake quickly transforms his own car into a supercar and starts chasing Horvath through the city. A long and intense car chase begins between them. During the chase, Horvath uses magic to trap Balthazar and Dave Stutler inside a mirror world. But even then, the two somehow escape back into the real world by jumping through a falling piece of glass. Horvath then attacks them again using a giant truck, trying to crush them completely. Somehow, Dave and Balthazar barely survive the attack. By now, a huge crowd has gathered around the streets, and Horvath takes advantage of the chaos to escape with Drake Stone. When Balthazar tries to continue chasing him, Horvath uses magic on a random woman and temporarily makes her look exactly like Veronica. The moment Balthazar sees her, he freezes emotionally and gets lost in memories of Veronica. Using that distraction, Horvath escapes once again. Later, Dave asks Balthazar about Veronica, and Balthazar finally tells him the full story. He explains that he and Veronica deeply loved each other. During the battle with Morgana, Veronica saved Balthazar's life by trapping Morgana's soul inside herself. That sacrifice forced Balthazar to seal both of them inside the magical nesting doll. Even after all these years, Balthazar still misses Veronica every single day. In the next scene, Horvath betrays Drake and kills him to absorb all of his magical power. He knows he will need enormous strength to fully free Morgana. After gaining Drake's powers, Horvath releases an evil witch from the nesting doll as well. The witch immediately kidnaps Becky Barnes and brings her to Horvath, but once the job is done, Horvath kills the witch too and steals her powers as well. Later, Dave and Balthazar arrive at Drake's apartment apartment, hoping to capture Horvath before it's too late. But after entering the building, they get separated while searching for him. At one point, Balthazar accidentally steps onto a magical carpet that starts pulling him inside itself like a trap. Meanwhile, Dave finally finds Horvath, but Horvath is holding Becky hostage. Horvath makes a deal with Dave. If Dave wants Becky to stay alive, he must hand over Merlin's dragon ring. That ring is the final key needed to free Morgana completely. Even though he doesn't want to, Dave has no choice. To save Becky, he gives Horvath the ring. After getting the dragon ring, Horvath leaves immediately. At the same time, Balthazar somehow manages to escape from the magical carpet trap and saves himself. When he learns that Dave gave the ring to Horvath, surprisingly, Balthazar doesn't get angry at all. Instead, he tells Dave that he would have done the exact same thing to save someone he loved. Knowing that Dave can't help much without the ring, Balthazar jumps off the building alone and heads out to stop Horvath and Morgana himself. After Balthazar leaves, Dave finally tells Becky the truth, that he is actually a sorcerer. And after everything that has happened, Dave decides he won't run away anymore. He is going to help Balthazar and stop Morgana no matter what. First, Dave calls his best friend for help. Then he installs his science project into his car, planning to use both science and magic together against Horvath. Soon after, we see Horvath finally freeing Morgana from the magical nesting doll, but Morgana emerges while still sharing Veronica's body, which completely shocks Horvath. Morgana then climbs to the top of a massive building and begins chanting a deadly spell using satellite signals so she can raise an army of the dead. Right then, Dave arrives at the scene. He tells Becky to climb the tower and change the direction of the satellite dish so Morgana's spell cannot be completed. Meanwhile, Dave rushes off to help Balthazar fight Horvath. At the same time, Horvath throws the magical nesting doll into the fire to destroy it forever. But hidden nearby, Balthazar quickly grabs the doll before it burns. Horvath becomes furious and immediately attacks him. Balthazar tries fighting back, but he can barely stand against Horvath now. Because Horvath has become unbelievably powerful after absorbing so many magical abilities, Horvath even brings a giant metal bull statue to life and sends it to kill Balthazar. But just in time, Dave arrives in his modified car. The moment Horvath sees him, he fires powerful lightning attacks toward Dave. However, Dave had already attached an electrical device to the front of his car, and the machine absorbs Horvath's lightning energy completely. Using that opportunity, Balthazar attacks Horvath and blasts him across the area. Right after that, Balthazar's giant metal eagle suddenly appears and carries away Horvath's metal bull, saving both Dave and Balthazar from being crushed. Meanwhile, Morgana continues performing her dark ritual using the satellite dishes placed on top of the city's skyscrapers. Because of the ritual, Morgana's dead followers and evil sorcerers all around the world slowly begin coming back to life. But before they can fully return to their original bodies, Becky Barnes manages to change the direction of one of the satellite dishes. As soon as that happens, Morgana's ritual is interrupted. The spell fails, and Veronica suddenly falls unconscious from the top of the building because Morgana was still connected to her body. Seeing Veronica collapse, Balthazar Blake rushes to save her. To protect Veronica once again, he pulls Morgana's soul out of Veronica's body and traps it inside himself instead. Because of that sacrifice, Veronica finally becomes completely normal again. But only seconds later, Morgana's soul escapes from Balthazar's body too and attacks everyone nearby. Just when things seem hopeless, Dave Stutler steps forward and blocks Morgana's attack using magic. Both Balthazar and Veronica are shocked after seeing this, because Dave is now performing magic without even using Merlin's dragon ring. At that moment, they finally realize Dave has truly become Merlin's successor. Dave immediately starts attacking Morgana with powerful spells, but Morgana easily avoids every attack because she no longer has a physical body. She exists only as a spirit now. Dave quickly understands that ordinary magic won't be enough to defeat her, so while dodging Morgana's attacks, he secretly places his electrical device onto a nearby power pole. A second later, massive bolts of electricity surge through the electrical lines and strike Morgana directly from every direction. The attack completely destroys her soul once and for all. After finally defeating Morgana, Dave feels incredibly relieved and happy, but then he notices something terrible. Balthazar has died. Dave is heartbroken after seeing the man who trained and believed in him lying motionless, but he refuses to give up on him. Using both electricity and magic together, Dave shocks Balthazar's body in an attempt to revive him, and amazingly, it works. The combined power of Dave's magic and the electric shock brings Balthazar back to life. Seeing this, both Dave and Veronica become emotional and overjoyed. Soon after, Becky arrives there too, and she is incredibly happy to see Dave safe and alive. In the end, Dave finally masters Merlin's magic and successfully defeats Morgana, saving the entire world. If you enjoyed this magical adventure, then make sure to share this video with your friends, especially the ones who still dream about magic, dragons, and epic wizard battles.